Hello, everyone. Welcome to our YouTube channel. This is Frank in Japan, and today this will be a new playlist that we will be doing in our YouTube channel. So we will have reading activities every now and then, and this time we're gonna be reading this textbook, what we call as Ikigai. So of course we will be having our comments. I have read this textbook already, as you notice. So I already have highlighted some of the what I call this one quotations or excerpts here that really sticks to my mind and heart. So I'm very excited to share it to you. This textbook, I know you have heard this so much already. I have read this since I was in the Philippines. I bought this one in uh, fully booked. So you can actually have, if you're from the Philippines, you can actually um, buy this textbook in their bookstore called Fully Booked. So we're actually doing live also in our TT account and also here in our YouTube account. So please do know, please tell me or please notify me if you can hear me. Okay, especially in this TT account, I'm using this microphone, and for my YT account, I'm using this one. So we will be reading the textbook and give some, what give comments, not comments, but realization while reading the textbook. Yun. Okay, so again, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you are not yet subscribed, make sure to click the subscribe button and also the ring bell button so you will be notified in my next videos and uploads. So we have uploaded already learning Japanese, and this time I want to read this textbook. I also have the textbook. After reading this textbook, it's highly recommended that you are going to read the other textbook, which is the Ichigo Ikie, and I already have the textbook with me. So we will be reading this one next time also. But for now, we'll be focusing on this textbook or this textbook, this book, Ikigai. This one is the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. So it's really interesting textbook. I have been reading this many times already, and every time I read, I always like very overwhelmed upon reading this one. I always get goosebump when I read some of the highlighted text or quotation in this textbook. So yeah, it's amazing. All right, so let's go ahead and let's have a quick check. So this is Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. This was written by Hector Garcia and Frances Miralles, and this is actually a best-selling textbook with which are written by the best-selling authors Hector Garcia and Frances Miralles. Yes. All right. So yeah, I'm so excited to share it to you reading the textbook. So let's go ahead. And please, if you have any comments or what I call this one, say uh, hello to Ashgar M. Thank you so much for watching. Big like to you too. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah. So let's read this and let's read the excerpt over here. Okay. So want to live longer? Keep super busy. Okay. Is the art of doing nothing. Ikigai is the art of doing something and doing it with supreme focus and joy. It's never post. So, Ikigai urges individuals to simplify their lives by pursuing what sparks joy for them, much in the same way that the life changing magic of tidying up emphasizes choosing what we want to keep, not what we want to get rid of. That's Ikigai. Ikigai demonstrates that aging could be an opportunity to keep working, keep smiling, active, and keep doing social. So this was a newsletter from Kunmari. Kunmari. All right, so let's read the first part. So again, guys, we are live in our YouTube channel, and also we are live in our TT account. So this one is using the microphone in my IT account, and this one is my in my YouTube. So please let me know if you can hear me well. Hello, Sebastian. Big like hello. Let's read Ikigai, the Japanese secret to a long and happy life. Again, this is written by Hector Garcia and Francis Mirales, and this English textbook is translated by Heather Clary. Uh, So let's read from Hector Garcia. Message from Hector Garcia. For my brother Aitor, who said to me more often than anyone else, I don't know what to do with my life. And with Francis Miralles, he wrote, unquote, for all my past, present, and future friends, for being my home and my motivation along the way. So this must be a message to all the people who have been part of this journey of making writing this textbook. So this is really interesting. By the way, in my TikTok account, you can see me wearing this. It's really hot now in Japan. It was rainy season day, and uh, after work, I just wear this type of yukata. This is actually used when in summer season. So yeah. So going back, let's continue. This is Japanese proverb. It says, "Only staying active will make you want to live 100 years." Wow. This is an excerpt from this textbook. Let's read the prologue. Ikigai, the mysterious word. This book first came into being on a rainy night in Tokyo when its authors sat down together for the first time in one of the city's tiny bars. We had read each other's work but had never met, thanks to the thousands of miles that separate Barcelona from the capital of Japan. Then a mutual acquaintance put us in touch, launching a friendship that led to this project and seems destined to last a lifetime. The next time we got together, a year later, we strolled through a park in downtown Tokyo and ended up talking about trends in Western psychology, specifically logotherapy, which helps people find their purpose in life. We remarked that Viktor Frankl logotherapy had gone out of fashion among practicing therapists who favored other schools of psychology, though people still search for meaning in what they do and how they live. We ask ourselves things like, what is the meaning of my life? Is the point just to live longer, or should I seek a higher purpose? Why do some people know what they want and have a passion for life, while others languish in confusion? This kind of quote really thanked me of something. I was this person. I was this person also, and every now and then I heard a lot of people asking the same questions, and sometimes they just don't matter. It's just a continuous question, everyday question, or every now and then it happens, strikes to our mind, and we just don't care. And upon reading this textbook, made me realize a lot of things about really finding your purpose. Yeah, continue. Why do some people know what they want and have a passion for life while others languish in confusion? At some point in our conversation, the mysterious word ikigai came up. This Japanese concept, which translates roughly as the happiness of always being busy, is like logotherapy, but it goes a step beyond. It also seems to be one way of explaining the extraordinary longevity of the Japanese, especially on the island of Okinawa, where there are 24 59 people over the age of 100 for every 100,000 inhabitants, far more than the global average. Those who study why the inhabitants of this island in the south of Japan live longer than people anywhere else in the world believe that one of the keys, in addition to a healthful diet, a simple life in the outdoors, green tea, and subtropical climate, its average temperatures like of Hawaii, is the Ikigai that shapes their lives. Like this made me think, like I live in Japan, but I was from the Philippines. This kind of thing, like, wow, one check right away. I am in a tropical country, and having this natural phenomena in my country, like, oh, okay, I can be in Ikigai. Like, okay, one check. When I was reading this one, when I was reading page two of this textbook, while reading this book, I was also traveling time. I was also traveling time. I was also traveling with the story of the author. S- Yeah, let's continue. While researching this concept, we discovered that not a single book in the fields of psychology or personal development is dedicated to bringing the philosophy to the West. Is the Ikigai the reason there are more centenarians in Okinawa than anywhere else? How does it inspire people to stay active until the very end? What's the secret to a long and happy life? Yeah, like while being asked, while reading this textbook and this question prompt, that, yeah, this made me think, like, for 33 years of existence, what is the secret to a long and happy life? Is really having a long life, or longevity, that important versus being happy? Diba? That's the question most of the time. Is it okay to have a long life while having while having a happy life? Is it a guarantee that having a long life is a happy life? Is it okay to have a short life as long as you have a happy life? Those are the questions that prompted me. I was asking that after being asked this question. As we explored the matter further, we discovered that one place in particular, Ugimi, a rural town on the north end of the island with a population of 3,000, boasts the highest life expectancy in the world. A fact that has earned the nickname the village of longevity. Wow. Wow. If you're living there, it's gonna be nice. All right. Okinawa is where most Japan's Shikuwaza. Shikuwaza. Yeah, I know Shikuwaza. This is a very famous, what do you call this one? In my country, we have this kind of lime also. It is a lime-like fruit that packs an extraordinary, what do you call this one? Antioxidant punch. So we use it, we call it limoncello or calamansi in my country, but this shikuwaza is a different version. It's a different type of lime. It has a thinner skin compared to our lime in our country. So I also buy that one here, and it's really, really expensive. Yeah, everything from Okinawa is very expensive if you buy it from Tokyo or Kanagawa or in Osaka. Everything from Okinawa are always so expensive. So that's the thing. Could that be Ogimi's secret to a long life? Or is it the purity of the water used to brew its moringa tea? What is moringa tea? Moringa. So moringa is a very popular tea in Japan. And in my country, in the Philippines, it's a very common vegetable. We consider it as a vegetable. We use it in cooking. We use it in what I call this one, curing wounds, etc. So when I see this, like, wow, all the words, all the nouns being mentioned from the first 3 pages of this textbook really relates to me. And these are easy access for Filipinos. And why we don't know these? It makes me excited to read more this book. We decided to go to study the secrets of the Japanese centenarians in persons. After a year of preliminary research, we arrived in the village, where residents speak an ancient dialect and practice an animist religion that features long-haired forest spirits called bunagay. Mm. With our cameras and recording devices in hand, as soon as we arrived, we could sense the incredible friendliness of its residents, who laughed and joked incessantly amid lush green hills fed by crystalline waters. Can you imagine that? As we conducted our interviews with the eldest residents of the town, we realized that something far more powerful than just these natural resources was at work. An uncommon joy flows from its inhabitants and guides them through the long and pleasurable journey of their lives. Again, the mysterious Ikigai. But what is it exactly? How do you get it? It never ceased to surprise us that this haven of nearly eternal life was located precisely in Okinawa, where 200,000 innocent lives were lost at the end of World War II. Rather than harbor animosity toward outsiders, however, Okinawans live by the principle of Ichariba, chode, a local expressions that means treat everyone like a brother, even if you've never met them before. Wow, this one I was never I think I overlooked this one. This is the local expression that they what do you call this follow. Treat everyone like a brother, even if you've never met them before. Wow. Basically, that's a very nice character of the community. And I wish it's available everywhere, right? So let's continue. It turns out that one of the secret happiness of Ogimi's residents is feeling like part of a community. From an early age, they practice yoimaaru or teamwork, and so are used to helping one another. Nurturing friendships, eating light, getting enough rest, and doing regular, moderate exercise are all part of the equation of good health. But at the heart of the joy de vivre, that inspires these centenarians to keep celebrating birthdays and cherishing each new day is their ikigai. Wow. In this part of the textbook, it mentions very simple and somewhat we we just overlook. Yung pagiging simple, like just being simple, choosing this kind of 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 situations, teamwork. That's what we always try to get in our jobs. That's what we want to have in our environment. In a praise and worship in the church. What else? With our friends, you know, like meeting our relatives. That's what we want. That's what we want to have. And sometimes it never happened, right? And we just wish that it's an easy access, what I call this one, community. You know, the term yo ima or teamwork is not really parang it's not a natural environment. It has to be decided to each individual of the team or of the community. Right? Wow. The purpose of this book is to bring the secrets of Japan's centenarians to you and give you the tools to find your own ikigai. But those who discover their ikigai have everything they need for a long and joyful journey through life. Happy travels. Wow. That was just part of the prologue. And we're just not yet starting reading the book. And it's like reading it again. Like I have read this many times, but I'm always like doing this made me review, made me learn new things again. Yeah. So a lot of vloggers, a lot of influencers been mentioning this textbook, and they just give us like general thing, and I really want to give this easy access to everyone. So if you want to know more about this textbook and also my what I call this one, just to while reading this textbook, and if you have any comments or if you have any questions, please feel free to comment below in the comment section. Okay. All right, so let's go to the first chapter of this textbook, and I think we're gonna finish this live streaming after reading the first chapter. So in this textbook, there are a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 chapters. So it's amazing. All right, let's go to the first part of the textbook. After reading the prologue, let's go to the art of staying young while growing old. That's chapter 1. Right. So this one is something that, the textbook is showing. And this is actually part of the chapter 1 of the textbook. So as you can see, okay, so we have here the pink one, the purple or blue, the green, and the yellow. So these, what do I call this? These are the skill or character that we have. The character that we have. So we have what you love, that's the pink one. The green one is what you are good at. The yellow one is what you can be paid for. So ano yung talent? What are those talent that you can be paid for? Like if you're good with editing, then you will be paid for that. What the world needs. So it's like putting yourself in a bird's eye view, a bigger version, a bigger picture. What can you contribute to the world? Like that. And once you mix all of this mixture becomes the ikigai. That's the concept. But the mixture of what you're good at and what you love is what we call passion. And what you love and what the world needs is what we call your mission. And what the world needs and what you can be paid for is your vocation. And what you are good at plus the skill that you can be paid for is your profession. All right, so let's go. Let's dive in. What is your reason for being? According to the Japanese, everyone has an ikigai. what a French philosopher might call a raison d'être. Some people have found their ikigai, while others are still looking, though they carry it with them. So literally, we have our ikigai. We just need to discover it and let this ikigai what I call this one work within our lives. Our ikigai is hidden deep inside each of us. So it's our core. And finding it requires a patient research. So, research talaga. Patient search talaga siya. According to those born in Okinawa, the island with the most centenarians in the world, our ikigai is the reason we get up in the morning. So this one is a diagram from Mark Wynn. Okay. All right. So let's have a test. So what you love plus what you are good at is called your passion. What you love and what the world needs is what we call your mission. And what the world needs plus what you can be paid for is your vocation. And what you are good at and what you can be paid for is your profession. And the combination of these four elements, your passion, mission, vocation, and your profession, is your ikigai. So let's find this. Let's go and travel together. With bold quotation, whatever you do, don't retire. Again, whatever you do, don't retire. Having a clearly defined ikigai brings satisfaction, happiness, and meaning to our lives. The purpose of this book is to help you find yours and to share insights from Japanese philosophy on the lasting health of body, mind, and spirit. One surprising thing you notice living in Japan is how active people remain after they retire. In fact, many Japanese people never really retire. They keep doing what they love for as long as their health allows. There is, in fact, no word in Japanese that means retire in the sense of leaving the workforce for good, as in English. Mm, wow, this is something. According to Dan Butner, a National Geographic reporter who knows the country well, having a purpose in life is so important in Japanese culture that our idea of retirement simply doesn't exist here. Wow. Hindi pala uso sa kanila yung retire, no? But there, of course, a lot of Japanese retire. But going back to what the textbook says, there's no such word that really have the same meaning of the word retire in Japanese. And that's something I'm not aware of because I don't speak Japanese yet. Yeah, I will be asking that one. Wow, amazing. It's like reading the book again, like not knowing everything. All right, with a big note. The island of almost eternal youth. Certain longevity studies suggest that a strong sense of community and a clearly defined ikigai are just as important as the famously healthful Japanese diet, perhaps even more so. Recent medical studies of centenarians from Okinawa and other so-called blue zones, the geographic regions where people live longest. So that's the term. If you hear blue Jones, blue zones, this is the term we use for a specific place where there are a lot of people who live long. Okay, again, so zones provide a number of interesting facts about these extraordinary human beings. So there are one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, there are 5 points of this description. First, not only do they live much longer than the rest of the world's population, they also suffer from fewer chronic illnesses such as cancer and heart disease. Inflammatory disorders are also less common. Okay, another fact, number two. Many of the centenarians enjoy inviolable levels of vitality and health that would be unthinkable for being of advanced age elsewhere. Mhm. Third, their blood tests reveal fewer free radicals, which are responsible for cellular aging. As a result of drinking tea and eating until their stomachs are only 80% full. I have read this textbook, but it's very difficult to have the 80% full. They call this, as I remember, a hara hachibu. Hara hachibu. Like 80% full. Not 100, not 81, not 90%, only 80% full. Yeah, I've been struggling with that, obviously. All right, another point. Women experience more moderate symptoms during menopause, and both men and women maintain higher levels of sexual hormones until much later in life. The next point, the rate of dementia is well below the global average. Amazing. So I wish, we have all this kind of of good points in our life. Maybe not as a community, if it's impossible, but like of all these 5 points, I targeted the third one, which is the harachibu, the 80% concept of being full. So that's something, I can't do it. I tried for 2 weeks. As time goes by, I discovered delicious one. Those are excuses, you know. And I've been trying, and knowing this kind of concept make me, delay everything of getting full. Like today is harahachibu, delicious food harahachibu. So just knowing this one, made me lose weight also. So when I arrived here in Japan, I was 90 kilograms, and now I am 84 kilograms. So it's not big, but just being conscious about the concept of harahachibu helped me too. All right, so let's go to the next part. So let me just give you understanding of the word ikigai. Anyway, this is about, so the word ikigai is written in kanji form. Okay, so uh, let me not talk you about the how to write it, but the word ikigai composed of these words: life, to be worthwhile, life, and to be worthwhile. And you can also in this kanji form, you can also have different meaning. You can break these words into different meaning. So, for example, ikigai ne, uh, it has meaning of armor, number one, and to be the first, to head into battle, taking initiative as a leader, and the other kanji, ikigai, it means beautiful or elegant. Yeah, like that. So let's continue. Though we will consider each of these findings over the course of the book, research clearly indicates that the Okinawans' focus on Ikigai gives a sense of purpose to each and every day and plays an important role in their health and longevity. All right. So as what I said, what is blue Jones blue zones? So blue zones are the geographical area where there is uh, like a much number of people living with longevity. Like there are a lot of people with how do you say the word? Um, yeah, people living in a specific geographical area with long life. Yeah. So there are five blue zones in Okinawa. So okay, again, Okinawa holds first place among the world's blue zones. In Okinawa, women in particular live longer and have fewer diseases than anywhere else in the world. The five regions identified and analyzed by Dan Butna in this book, the blue zones, are. So this is a textbook also called Blue Zones. So they identified those geographical area with longevity. Number one, in Okinawa, Japan. So there are different countries being mentioned here, five countries, and number one is in Okinawa. So in Okinawa, Japan, especially the northern part of the island, the locals eat a diet rich in vegetables and tofu, typically served on small plates. In addition to their philosophy of Ikigai, the moai, or close-knit group of friends, plays an important role in their longevity. Number two is in Italy, especially in Sardinia, specifically the provinces of Nooro and Ogliastra. Locals on this island consume plenty of vegetables and one or two glasses of wine per day. Hmm, very selective when you hear the wine. Oh, I can have long life if I drink wine. No, no, not like that. It's always with a balance, of course. Again, locals in the island consume plenty of vegetables and one or two glasses of wine per day. As in Okinawa, the cohesive nature of this community is another factor directly related to longevity. Number three is in California, in Loma Linda. Researchers studied a group of Seventh day Adventists who are among the longest living people in the United States. Number four is in Costa Rica, the Nicoya Peninsula. Locals remain remarkably active after 90. Many of the region's older residents have no problem getting up at 5:30 in the morning to work in the fields. Okay, so we will understand why we mentioned these blue zones in the world. Again, what is blue zone? Blue zone are geographical area identify geographical area which has number of people living there with longevity. The number five is in Greece. That's in Ikaria. One of three inhabitants of this island near the coast of Turkey is over 90 years old, compared to less than 1% of the population of the United States, a fact that has earned it the nickname of the Island of Long Life. The total secret seems to be a lifestyle that dates back to 500 BC. All right, so in the following chapters that we will be reading in the future, we will examine several factors that seem to be the keys to longevity and around found across the blue zones, paying the special attention to Okinawa and its so-called village of longevity. However, it is worth pointing out that three of these regions are islands where resources can be parts and communities have to help one another. So these places that are mentioned, these five blue zones mentioned by this book, Blue Zone, written by Dan Butna, if you think of it, you know, there's no way they can survive if they won't help each other. There should be teamwork. There should be a community to help each other. balance diet, food intake, provisions. There should be balanced provisions because again, this is a community in an island, in a desert island, and without each other, I don't think without the help of each other, they could survive and have this kind of record of longevity, being healthy, being contented. It's really amazing. Now, let's continue from the book. For many, helping others might be an ikigai strong enough to keep them alive. According to scientists who have studied the five blue zones, the keys to longevity are diet, oh, and exercise, mm, wala din tayo nun. Finding a purpose in life, that's ikigai, and forming strong social ties, that is having a broad circle of friends and good family relations. So, these factors or these points are also important to have a longevity or having a long life. Happy, contented, long life. Again, let me mention one more time: diet, exercise, finding purpose in life, that is what we call as ikigai, and strong social ties, which include broad circle of friends and good family relations. So, technically, if your family members, you know, just kidding aside, if your family members have shorter life because of stress, you might be one of the factor. You have to have a good family relation. So let's contribute having a positive aura, energy to our family members so we can have long life. Okay. All right. Now, let's continue to my what I call this one favorite but never been achieved. And I was talking about the hara hachibu. So this is a term used in Japan, and I learned it in a hard way. Yeah, let me just give you a short story. So long time, of course, when I arrived here, I was 90 kilograms and 91 to be exact. And I really want to lose weight. And I want to do it naturally. I want to do it you know, like I was so busy also during that time. So I'm gonna do exercise. I have to focus on my diet, and I believe that in Japan, I can have a lot of choices to eat, and it could be very healthy. It depends on your choice. Now, going back, I was talking like I really want to have, I want to diet, I want to have a diet, and I was at work. I was talking to a Japanese coach during that time, and he mentioned about hara hachibu, and I heard it first, and I was like, I don't understand, like this kind of thing. And I talked to another friend, Japanese friend, also talks about hara hachibu. So I heard it 3 times before asking, what is hara hachibu? And this is actually a concept before I read this in the Philippines, but like I just because I don't understand the concept, I just read it once, and then I just want to finish the textbook, this kind of the book, and then I was like, sounds familiar. I have heard this 3 times and it sounds familiar. So when I read this again, I was like, this is the 80% concept in page 14 of the book I was reading. And I want to share it to you. Now, with a big, bold quote, the 10% secret. All right. One of the most common sayings in Japan is hara hachibu. So I was right. One of the most common sayings in Japan is hara hachibu, which is separated before or after eating and means something like fill your belly to 80%. Again, you fill your belly to 80%. So we say at itadakimasu, which is hamadeshita, but also um, to make the members aware, with this concept, like if all of you are into dieting, you can say itadakimasu, hara hachibu, like that. So while you're eating, everyone is aware of it. And it's up to you if you're gonna do the hara hachibu thing today, or all of you are in the same ship. All of you wanted to lose weight. So you have to say it, harahachibu. And once you finish eating and you think you already have 80% food inside your stomach, then you can say harahachibu. And then maybe some, oh, it's so delicious, forgot. So they will be reminded. It's the concept of harahachibu. To be honest, at first I was really like annoyed. I was really annoyed. Like, I know I was the one bringing the idea on the table that I really want to lose weight. And Japanese people are very serious about it. They're very serious about it. And I was very serious, but it was just so difficult for me. I eat a lot. I'm in Japan. Food are so delicious. And bringing that concept on the table, like, I really want to lose weight, is something that is very serious to talk about in Japan. Not everyone, but some Japanese. And I was with a Japanese community and I was talking about it. And yeah, they keep on mentioning Harahachi Harachi. So I was annoyed at first. But then I realized it's really helping me to lose weight. During that time, uh, I lost 10 kilograms just by doing Harahachi. Now I am to 82. So I gained 1 kilogram again. And at least when I went here, it was 91 kilograms, and now it's 81. So I still in that bracket, and I can just push more with the harachibu, a little bit of exercise, etc. So yeah, am I saying this to convince you or convince myself? I think I'm just convincing myself. All right. So this is actually an ancient wisdom advices against eating until we are full. This is why Okinawans start eating when they feel their stomachs reach 80% of their capacity, rather than overeating and wearing down their bodies with long digestive processes that accelerate cellular oxidation. Yeah, technically, the more food you have in your stomach, while sleeping, the digestive system, it takes a lot of time. And if it stays there, there will be there's a lot of demand for the digestive system to process the food, diba? So I think this makes sense. Of course, there's no way to know objectively if you have 80% already in your stomach. All right. So the lesson to learn from this thing is that we should start eating when we are starting to feel full. Just the feeling that we have food already. That's already 80%. The extra side dish, the snack we eat when we know in our hearts we don't really need it. So you ask first, do I really need this food today? Wow. Can you do that? I did that, and I didn't, and I did, and I didn't. It's like a turn on off action. So, for example, the apple pie after lunch, all this give us pleasure in a short term, but not having them will make us happier in the long term. So the concept is like asking yourself, like, do I really need this? This Could this make me happy? If you answer yes, that's good, but it doesn't stop there. You have to ask, is this a short-term happiness or this is a long-term happiness? If that answers a short-term happiness, you shouldn't eat it. That's the concept. Try my best doing this. The way food is served is also important. By presenting their meals in many small plates, the Japanese tend to eat less. Okay. Yeah, I really noticed this one. When I arrived here in Japan, I mean, I was surrounded also with the Muslim culture in my country, which is in the Philippines. Especially for Muslim community, they really cook a lot of kinds of food and sometimes a lot of food. But way they serve the food is by chunk, little chunk, a lot of plate, small plates. That's how they do it. And when I saw it in Japan, here in Japan, I feel like okay, this is the same thing, but there's something more. It's more colorful. It's little plate with a very little food inside, that kind of concept. And I tried to understand it, like, oh, okay, what's the like, like it's very tiring washing all the plate. Yeah, but That's something that I really appreciate how Japanese prepare their food. You know. Now let's continue. Again, the way food is served is also important. By presenting their meals in many small plates, the Japanese tend to eat less. A typical meal in a restaurant in Japan is served in 5 plates on a tray. 4 of them are very small, and the main dish slightly bigger. Have you noticed that? I did. I noticed that one too. Having 5 plates in front of you make it seems like you are going to eat a lot. So it's like, our brain is like computer. It's like a program. It work with a program. So your eyes deliver the idea that there's a lot of plate, there's a lot of kind of food. So it gives you an idea. Okay, I'm gonna eat a lot. While eating, you will be satisfied also. Okay, let's continue again. Having 5 plates in front of you make it seem like you are going to eat a lot. But what happens most of the time is that you end up feeling slightly hungry. Okay, this is one of the reason why Westerners in Japan typically lose weight and stay trim. Does it work like that? Really? Okay. Next. All right, let's continue. Recent studies of nutritionists reveal that Okinawans consume a daily average of 1,800 to 1,900 calories. Well, to be honest, when I started, I tried to make a meal, week week plan, 1,750. Yeah, that was the first suggestion, and still kills me. It's very difficult. So I asked again to have 2,500 calorie. I don't know, it was still difficult. But when they tried to tell me like this is what happened, you will not lose weight if you continue having 2,500, let's do it 1,900. It was really difficult. This kind of like we just talk about 1,800 and 1,900 calories. It's difficult if you don't have any idea what kind of food you should be choosing. You know, maybe a tiny bit of food or like chocolate is already consumed 200 kilograms. Imagine how many. If you just eat five, you will have 1,000 already calories in your body. So knowing what kind of food you will be eating in the long run, like just to make your stomach full, like for example, eating potatoes, this kind of stuff can how do you hack the your body, hack your body processing. So knowing what food you eat is also very important. Why talking about it? It's different. Who am I to talk about it? But yeah, I did it before, so I want to do it again. Yeah, let's do it together. All right. Compared to 2,200 to 3,300 in the United States, and have a body mass index between 18 and 22, compared to 26 or 27 in the United States. The Okinawan diet is rich in tofu. Okay, let's take note of this food. Tofu, sweet potatoes, fish, and it's very specific, 3 times per week. Okay, one more time. Tofu, sweet potatoes, fish, and you eat this 3 times per week. Not every day, 3 times per week. And vegetables, roughly 11 ounces per day. Mm. So you eat more vegetables like every day. You have a chance to eat fish 3 times a day, which is very common in Okinawa then because we live in an island and Okinawans ocean seas are full of fish. So that's a good thing. And I think eating fish is much cheaper than eating meat also. Let's try to do this. Wow. Next, in the chapter dedicated to nutrition, we will see which healthy antioxidants-rich food are included into this 80%. So, in the long run, while reading this textbook, I will be reading with this textbook. We will be able to know what are those food or recommended food for us to eat. Okay, now let's continue and let's talk about the concept of moai. Moai. It means connected for life. It is actually customary in Okinawa to form close bonds within local communities. A moai is an informal group of people with common interest who look out for one another. For many for many, serving the community becomes part of their ikigai. All right. So being part of a community is also part of ikigai. So is it really a good thing to have soul searching and live life, which is very for foreigners maybe. Um, for me, I am a very what I call I have many friends. I have many communities in my country. Uh, I live a happy life. I have many friends back then. But when I came here in Japan, because of the language barrier, it's difficult for me to establish that kind of community. I think even locals also have this kind of like they have community, but it's a different bond compared to the country that we came from. So like with the closeness, like talking a lot, spending time together, it's unlimited. But here it's like everything is in schedule, and it's a very nice culture actually. I cannot say like it's not good, but this was a nice what I call this one concept also. I was able to discover that okay, I can actually live like this. I can actually eat in the restaurant alone. I can actually, seeing myself in that situation makes me proud because most of the time when I want to go out, I always like invite someone or anyone in my circle to eat with me. Like that. So that's something. But anyway, we will be able to talk about the concept of Moai, connected for life. All right, so let's continue. Let's do it again. A Moai is an informal group of people with common interests who look out for one another. For many, serving the community becomes part of their ikigai. The Muay has its origins in hard times when farmers would get together to share best practices and help one another cope with meager harvests. Members of Muay may set monthly contribution to the group. This payment allows them to participate in meetings, dinners, games of Go and Shogi. Do you know what is Go and Shogi? So these are actually Japanese chess or board game. I know Go because I watch Hikaru no Go anime and I really like it. And Shogi also is another type of board game. They use the same pebbles, black and white pebbles, but they are played differently or whatever hobby they have in common. So they pay a contribution and they use it to be part of the community. Amazing. The funds collected by the group are used for activities, but if there is money left over, one member or decided on a rotating basis receives a set amount from the surplus. In this way, being part of Moai helps maintain emotional and financial stability. If a member of Moai is in financial trouble, he or she can get an advance from the group's savings. While the details of each MOI's accounting practices vary according to the group and its economic means. The feeling of belonging, the feeling of belongingness. Okay, hold on for a while. All right, let's continue. So, the feeling of belonging or belongingness and support gives the individual a sense of security and helps increase life expectancy. So, this is the part or chapter one of the textbook Ikigai. And following this brief introduction to the topics covered in this book, we'll look at a few causes of premature aging in modern life and then explore different factors related to Ikigai. So, for the next chapter, we'll be talking about little things that add up to a long and happy life. So, that would be the next chapter that we will be reading together in this live stream area, this live streaming, next live streaming. And then for this live streaming, we will just be focusing on the art of staying young while growing old. That's only the introduction of the text of this book. And while reading this, it gives me another idea on how we deal with life. So that is Ikigai, chapter one. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can comment below. And if you have any questions while watching the recorded video, you can also comment below. Okay. Yeah, what are the things that I remember while reading the textbook? I think the concept of hara hachibu is something that is, I've been trying to do every day. Let me try to do it. And let me tell you. So again, my my weight now is 81. So I will be doing the hara hachibu for quite some time. 80% healing. Yeah, it's so difficult. I've done it already, but yeah, I will do it. Let's do it. Let's do it together, and let's share together how we progress to the ID to this kind of concept, hara hachibu, and also one thing that I really that strikes me with this chapter is the concept of ikigai. This diagram, yeah, this diagram, right? It gives like a nutshell or understanding of my character and how I should describe it in my life. So I have checked list. So what you love, what so I we have to ask these four questions in our life. First is what do you love doing? And then next is what the world needs. What are those concepts that you think the world needs as of this moment? You have to make that checklist. The second question is what you can do or what are the things that you can do that you are paid for? Or are you good in designing? Are you teaching? Are you a teacher? Are you paid for that? Yeah, that's part of the checklist. And then what are you good at? Either you are paid for that, either it's just your passion, is just your hobby. Yeah. So those are the four questions that we have to answer. And we can with those answers that we have be able to have four concept elements. We can identify our passion, we can identify our mission, our vocation, and also our profession. So if you can answer the question what you love and what you are good at, those are under passion. So for example, I love doing live streaming. Is it okay? I love it. I really love it. Like even if no one is watching, or if one is watching, or only less are watching, it's okay. I love doing it. And what are you good at? I'm good at something. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm still discovering on new things, but I'm sure I'm good at teaching, but I'm paid for that. So it's not part of the green one. I'm good at designing. I'm good at making contents for businesses. Like, yeah. Next is that's under passion. That's your passion. No involved money. Next is going back to the question what you love and what the world needs. Does it involve money? No. It's your mission. Now, what the world needs and also what you are paid for, what you can be paid for is your vocation. All right? And what you paid for plus what you're good at is your profession. If you're good at teaching and you're paid for that, that's your profession. Now, with the four concept elements, the passion, mission, vocation, and your profession, this combination is your ikigai. This concept is being diagrammed by, I should tell his name, you know, that's not my concept, but that's from Mark Wynn. Yeah. All right. So that's our first reading of this book, Ikigai. It's a very nice book. And again, there are a lot of people recommend this textbook. And while reading this, it's like reading it for the first time. Okay. So I already finished reading this one, but I want to read it one more time with you. And let's share together what we will be learning in this journey of reading books with you. All right. So again, if you're watching here in my YouTube channel, make sure to click the subscribe button and also the ring bell button for you to be notified in my next live streaming and also uploaded videos. So if you have any questions, make sure to comment below in the comment section. And if you have any recommendations, what book I will be reading next time, please do so. After reading this book, my plan is to read this recommended textbook after reading this, the Ichigo Ichi. So please recommend any textbook that you want me to read and share it to you guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is Frank in Japan, and see you next time. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.